Hi, everyone. I'm on a little early. I'm about a minute early because I wanted to make sure the space looked good. Yeah, good. So you won't need anything prep-wise for class this evening, which is awesome. And we'll get started in about 1 minute or so. So hello, if you're showing up, so glad to have you here. If you have a mat, that's great. If you have blocks, that's great too. But again, no props are necessary. Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and get started. It's like right at 4 o'clock. Um, you can't see Cash, but he's here. He's just laying on the floor right there. Okay, so we're gonna start in a standing position. So feet are going to be about hip width distance apart and feeling all four corners of the toes of the feet. And roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back down along the spine, opening up through the chest, opening up through the palms of the hands. I'm going to take a couple breaths here so you can close your eyes, bring your attention to the tip of your nose, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're just going to take 3 breaths, feeling your energy ground down through the feet, feeling the shoulders pull away from the ears. Last one, feel the belly expand on the inhale. And exhale, let everything go. So we're going to start with the neck. We're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder, opening up through the right side of the neck. And here you can kind of shake out the hands to let the hands go. There's a slight bend in the knees. And so while we're stretching out our neck, I'll go through the ABCs essentially of this class. And then you'll roll the chin forward, bringing the chin towards the chest, rolling the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. And so that first one is A. So I like to keep things really simple and just really fun. And A is all about allowing. So just allowing yourself to have this time for yourself. If you have the pull to look at your phone or to go do something during these 30 minutes, see if you can just allow yourself to be here and move through each stretch in an allowing way. Let the chin come towards the chest, roll to the other side. And let's bring our right arm out, just reaching out across from you. And the next one is B, so it's really focusing on the breath. I prefer to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, but you can breathe in a way that feels really good for you. Again, let the shoulders drop away from the ears here. If you'd like to bring it close to your eyes, you can. Drop the chin towards the chest, other side. Take that opposite arm out, looking forward. And so that B is breath, so really coming back to the breath throughout the whole practice. And the C for this week is curiosity. I'm just getting really curious about what's going on within the body. How does the body feel in each stretch or each pose? Noticing if there's any pain or sensation that comes up and moving out of it if it's an uncomfortable pain for you. Now let's take some neck circles. You'll take about 3 one way. Nice and slow. So we're not crunching in the back when we go back. We're just looking up towards the ceiling. And let's go the opposite direction. So those are those ABCs, the allowing, breath, curiosity. And I think those are just 3 things that are really helpful to bring into our daily life in general. So you can bring the head back to neutral. Let's take some shoulder circles backwards. So slowly opening up through the shoulders, opening up through the neck. Let's do 2 more. So we'll do 5 backwards. And then we'll do 5 forwards. Oh, there's Cash Man. There's his head. So just notice if the neck has opened up a little bit more for you. I believe that was 5. Let the arms come out towards the sides. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back. So we're going to come where our hands are clasped right at the sacrum. And then you can pull the elbows towards one another, lifting through the chest, lifting through the chin. And if this feels pretty good for you, then you can begin to straighten the arms, or straightening the elbows, bringing the knuckles down towards the tailbone. This is a great shoulder opener, heart opener. And engage through the abs here. There's a tendency to splay through the ribs, so see if you can knit everything in with the chin away from the chest. And breathe. Feel that opening across the collarbone. Let the chin again away from the chest. Opening up through the heart space. Let the hands fall towards the sides. Give the wrists some circles. We'll go 5 one direction. I don't know if you can hear my wrists popping, but they're for sure popping, and they go the other way. Good. So we're going to go through like each area of the body to open up the joints, open up these large areas within our body. So you can bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. The toes can go out diagonally, just slightly. A bend in the knees, you can place the hands on the hips. And we're going to bring in some hip circles. So nothing too big, nothing too crazy. Just getting into the hips. And then go the opposite direction. So we tend to hold a lot of tension, a lot of pain in the low back and in the hips. So doing these hip circles can be really comforting and nourishing for the body. And it also tells the nervous system that it's okay, that you can calm down, that the body's okay. And then come back to neutral. So we're going to come to the back of our mat, or just wherever you're at in your place, in your home, or wherever you are. And we're going to do where the chin comes down towards the chest. We're going to come into a forward fold. We're going to make this a slow movement. So again, you'll bend into the knees. You'll think about hinging at the hips as if you're going to shut a car door with your bum. Yeah? So we'll start this off with bringing the chin towards the chest and then rolling down the spine one vertebrae at a time. The hips hinge. Looking down towards the knees, looking down towards the feet, and then you're coming into your forward fold. Breathe here. You can walk your hands out a little farther if you need that. If you feel like you need a little bit more space, you can bend deeply through the knees. If your hands aren't touching the ground, that's okay. Just bend more through the knees and the hands can get closer towards the ground. Bend deeply through the knees, slowly lift up one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow, head is the last thing to come up. Shoulders roll up towards the ears and back down along the spine. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times. So take a big inhale here. Exhale, chin towards the chest, bend through the knees, hinge at the hips. Slowly come down. Hang into your forward fold. Cat wanted to leave. And shift your weight here. Notice if your weight is going deeply into the heels and see if you can even it out against all 4 corners of the feet. And slowly lift up one vertebrae at a time. Letting the arms be heavy, letting the head come up, the last thing to come up. Roll the shoulders back. Good, let's do that one more time. Drop the chin towards the chest. Hinge through the hips, bend through the knees. Let the neck go here. Maybe shake the head. Give a little movement. Bend a little bit more through the knees if you need to. And let everything go here. I even like to imagine that the top of my skull or my brain is just kind of opening up and all of my thoughts are literally like leaving my brain down through the earth. And then slowly rise, come all the way back up. Roll the shoulders back. And we're going to come down to hands and knees onto the mat. You can get there however feels good for you. I'm going to get there by doing exactly what we just did, walking out into a plank, and then coming to my hands and my knees. So if you'd like to do that with me, you can inhale here. Exhale, fold all the way down. Bend through the knees, plant the hands, walk the hands out into a plank, and then lower the knees. Bring the hands under the shoulders, bring the knees or the hips over the knees. We're going to move through a few cat-cow positions. So essentially what that is as you inhale, you'll drop the belly, lift the chin away from the chest, look up. As if you're pulling your heart through. And then exhale, tuck the chin, look back towards the belly button, press the ground away with the hands. So this is like a scared cat. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, stretch the heart forward through the shoulders. Exhale, press the floor away. And then move through 3 more of these on your own. So this is great if you have lower back pain or if you sit at a desk throughout the day, or maybe you sat and watched a movie today, which I highly recommend. But this is a great thing to do for your back. Good, so we'll come back into a neutral spine. Let's walk the hands about a handprint out in front of you. We're going to come into a downward dog for just a couple breaths. So the toes are tucked. Begin to lift through the knees. Press the tailbone back into the sky. You can open up the feet a little bit wider if you need to. So the feet are hip-width distance apart. You're pressing the ground away through the hands, pressing through the feet. And there's a slight bend in the knees. And the heels do not have to touch the ground. So I like to have a bend in my knees and act as if I'm pulling my heels towards the ground. So find some stability here. If it feels good for you, you can walk the dog. So you can essentially bend through one knee, straighten out one leg. Bend through the opposite, straighten out the opposite leg. So we're really opening up the hamstrings here. Good, come back to neutral in your downward facing dog. And let's come back to tabletop. So here, widen the knees, bring the big toes to touch together. We're gonna come back into child's pose. So the hips are gonna sit over the heels. Arms are going to reach out in front of you. Take a big stretch here. Bring the head down to the mat. Or forehead down, rest your forehead. And breathe here. Feel the opening across the sides of the body, across the upper back, across the mid back, the lower back. And here, as we take a moment in this stretch, I know if your knees are bothering you at any time, you can come on out of that and come back to tabletop. But if you're still in child's pose, just take this moment to check in. How's your body feeling? Even after about just 14 minutes of some movement. How's your breath? How's your mind? Again, that curiosity, bringing in the curiosity, no judgment or labeling or anything like that, just curious. Good, come back to your tabletop position. Walk your hands again about a handprint out in front of you. We're gonna bring the right leg forward. So it's almost like a low lunge. If you need more space, you can bring your hands up, but I'm gonna keep my hands on the mat. If you have blocks and you need them, you can bring blocks under your hands to lift to give yourself a little lift. But if not, you'll check in with your knee here. So your knee is right over your ankle. So your knee is not way out in front of here. Your knee is not bypassing your toes. And this is a great place to stay. This is a great stretch for the left hip flexor, for the hips. So find your breath here. If you want a little bit more, you can tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and feel this nice long line in your runner's lunge. And note here, if you would like to bring in some of that rocking movement or motion we did last week, you can bring in a little bit of rocking here. If it feels good for you, now at any time you can bring that knee down and hold in this stretch here. Good. So you can stay knee lifted or knee down. We're going to plant our left hand down, reach the right hand up, coming into a twist. So here we're really stretching the outer hip. And notice if your weight has shifted all the way over to the right. See if you can center your hips and look straight ahead. Good. Lower the right hand down. Bring the left knee down. You can shift the right foot as you shift the hips back, pointing all 5 toes up towards the sky, coming into a hamstring stretch on the right side. Again, if you do have blocks, it is nice here to lift yourself up a little bit. It can help the low back from compressing. Or you can do this. You can just stay lifted, engaging through the belly, engaging through the back. Finding the breath. Bring the hands to right and the right foot. And we're going to switch legs. So you'll bring the right leg back. Bring the left foot forward. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So hands are on the inside of the left foot. You can take this stretch here. Feeling a length in the neck. Belly button's coming in towards the spine. Or you can lift the back knee. Feeling a little bit more stable here. You begin to press down through the right hand. Reach the left arm up. Come into a twist. Pressing down through both feet. Looking forward. Bring the left hand down, bring the right knee down, and we'll shift back into our hamstring stretch. All 5 toes come up towards the sky. And even here, notice if, again, the weight wants to shift over into the right hip. See if you can even it out. And if you want more space in the low back, you can lift through the chest. Reaching the heart forward, engaging through the belly. And breathe here. Walk the hands forward, bend through that left knee. And we'll come back into our tabletop position. And so here we're going to actually come to a seat on our mat. So I'm going to face you. You can face whatever way feels good for you. It is hot in here. I'm sweating, which I guess is a good thing. You can bring your right leg out. Keep your left foot in towards your groin. And again, you can shift or internally rotate the thigh, bring the sit bones on the ground or directly onto the mat. And here I like to practice engaging my leg. So you can think about pulling the kneecap up, and the heel might slightly come off the mat, or at least mine does, but I can also hyperextend sometimes. So here, you're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears, down along the spine, reach the hands back to lift up through the chest, lift through the chin. And keeping this length in the spine, you can slowly begin to bring the hands forward or in front of you. You can slowly walk the hands forward. I like to even move gently from side to side. And go as far as feels good for you and your spine is able to stay straight or upright, so you're tilting the pelvis forward. And even here, you can just gently sway. This tells the nervous system that it's okay to stretch like this. Good. And then walk the hands back up towards the foot. You can place your right hand on the outside of the right leg and then come into a side stretch here, reaching that opposite arm over. And know that wherever you're at is great. If you're more up here, that's totally fine. If you want to bend a little bit more deeply coming into this side stretch, then do that. But again, it's that curiosity. Notice if there's any pain or any sensations, and then just come out of it a little bit. Good. Reach back up. And let's do that one more time. It will actually begin to turn towards that right leg. Bring the hands onto both sides of the leg. Engage through the leg. Kneecap is going up towards you. And again, you'll lift through the spine as you inhale. And exhale. See if you can tilt towards that right leg. And if you're feeling pretty good today, you can start to walk the hands towards the foot. You can reach towards the heel. Again, if you have a strap, you can bring that around the foot and bring your chest closer towards your knee. And make sure that you're keeping the low back in mind. And here, if you are here and you'd like to round through the spine, bringing the nose towards the knee, that's totally fine. And slowly lift back up. And let's switch legs. Bring the hands back behind, lift through the chest, lift the chin away from the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands out in front of you, and let's sway from side to side. So coming towards the center, engaging through that left leg. Nice. And then gently come back up. Bring that left hand to the outside of the left foot. Reach over, coming into a side bend stretch. I was actually reading an article that this particular stretch is really great if you sit at a desk throughout the day, or if you're sitting a lot throughout the day. I think even standing, it was like this stretch is like a wonderful stretch to do every day. Because it opens up through a lot with the side. Good. Inhale, lift everything back up. And then twist over towards the leg. Bring the hands on both sides of the leg. Inhale, lifting through the chest. And exhale, you can walk the hands forward. And then come into any kind of stretch that feels good for you. Keep engagement in this left leg. And see if you can let the neck go. See if you can part the teeth in the mouth. Let the jaw go. Feel an opening throughout the low back, the mid back, the upper back. The breath might be a little constricted, but that's okay. Just continue to breathe. And then walk the hands back up. Good, come back to center. Let's bring the heels of the feet together into cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. And your feet can be far out in front of you, or you can walk the feet in a little bit closer towards the pelvis or towards the groin, pressing both of the feet together and bring a little movement into the knees. It might seem like you're about to fly away. Yeah, and so here, see if you need to shift. We're going to tilt through the pelvis again to open up through the hips. They're going to reach both hands back, reach up through the chest, lift the chin up, open through the chest. Inhale, and then as you exhale, we're going to tilt the pelvis forward. You can bring the hands out around the feet, and then you can, again, walk the hands forward as you rock from side to side. So the rocking is not something you have to do. It's just something that I've found really helpful over my stretching career. And scientifically, science says it really does help our body just think that it's safe. It's kind of like reminding us we're in the womb again. It's a very fun reference since I'm pregnant right now. And then find some stillness. Find your breath, pressing through the heels of the feet. We're keeping that integration in the legs. And then walk the hands back. And here we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So I'm going to show you two different variations. And I want you to we're going to take these next couple minutes to open up the hips in our pigeon pose. So if you know how to get into pigeon pose, please go ahead and do that. You can either lie on your back or come into pigeon pose from a tabletop. So I'm going to show you from tabletop, and then I'll show you lying on your back. So from tabletop, you'll bring your right knee to the outside of the right wrist. And you'll begin to walk the left foot back. Hands can stay on the mat. And here there's an integration in the legs, so you're squeezing into the midline. The right ankle is about on the outside of the left hip. And if you feel stable here, you can begin to walk the hands forward, coming onto the forearms, or even coming down and resting the forehead on the ground. So that is option one. If that does not feel good in your knees or your low back, please come to option two. You'll lay down on your back. Bring the right ankle over the left knee. The right foot is flexed. And so you're coming to this figure four. You can begin to lift the left foot away from the mat. You bring the hands, the right hand in between the middle of the legs, the left hand goes to the outside, grasp the left thigh, the back of the left thigh. And here's your pigeon on your back. I'm going to stay on my back for this. And we're going to switch. I'm going to prompt you from your back. If you're forward in your pigeon, then switch to your left side. If you're lying on your back, you'll bring your left ankle over your right knee. The left foot stays flexed to protect the knee. You can stay here. You can lift the right foot up off the mat. Grasp the back of the right leg. Feeling this opening in the hips through your figure four. And here, see if you can shake the head a little bit. Wherever you're at. Maybe you're massaging your forehead on the ground. Maybe you're massaging the back of your head on the ground. And wherever you're at, just slowly come out. I'll have everybody come to your back on your mat or on your carpet or your rug, wherever you're at. We're just going to lay flat on our back for a breath. And so even here, before you get comfy, maybe you're just not making your way there, you're going to press through the heels of the feet to lift the spine, to bring in the natural curve in the spine. There is a little curve in our low back. You can reach the hands forward. Let's take a big body stretch here. And just let everything melt into the mat. We're going to end how we started with just taking 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll end the stretch portion and then we'll go into meditation. So inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. If you need to sigh, you can do that. But again, take stock. How does the body feel? How does the mind feel? And know that you can stay right here and continue on with meditation. Know that you can stop the video and continue your stretching journey. But wherever you're at, you can get comfortable. You can always sit up for meditation. It's going to be, we're going to take the next 8 minutes. I'm going to shut my door. So wherever you're at, if you're staying on with me, thank you for coming this far. You're in a comfortable position. Eyes are gently closed. Bring your attention, your awareness to the tip of your nose. Feeling the coolness of the air as you breathe in. And feeling the heat of the air as you breathe out. And we're going to imagine a calming energy or light just opening around the top of your head. Maybe you're noticing a certain color, maybe a calming color for you. And just notice that is a relaxing, calming, centering awareness. It's coming down through the crown of the head, allowing you to release the forehead, release the eyelids. And it's swirling around the mind, really picking up any thoughts that need to be picked up, picking up any emotions that need to be picked up. And just noticing that all of this is leaving through the exhale. Any tension or stress or pain is being picked up by this energy and leaving the body through the breath. And then we move down into the jaw, releasing the jaw, parting the teeth in the mouth. Moving down through the throat, opening up the throat. feeling the throat soften. Moving down into the area around the heart, softening the chest, the upper back, the shoulders. Feeling the shoulders pull away from the ears. And then moving down through the gut, through the mid-back. Releasing any tension or stress in this area of the body. And this light is moving down into the belly, right below the belly button, right at the low back. Again, swirling and taking anything that it needs to take with it out of the body through the breath. And just maybe notice if you feel any heat in the hands. And then this light moves down through the hips, surrounding the hips, moving down through the thighs. So really just taking this time to relax the whole entire body and just let whatever needs to be released from the mind or from the body, just let that go now. And this light moves down through the knees, softening the area around the knees, moving down through the calves, through the ankles, and then all the way down into the feet. So the breath is moving down into the tips of the toes, bringing your awareness and your energy down, down, down into the body. And just take a moment here to feel the body melt into the ground underneath you. Maybe you feel an opening in certain areas, or maybe there wasn't an opening before. And if you like, you can take this moment to place your hands anywhere on your torso that feels comfortable for you. So I sometimes like to place my hands along my sacrum or right below my belly button. Sometimes I place my left hand on my heart, my right hand on my belly. This just helps us to ground down into our body, into our energy. And I want you to take this time to bring to mind one thing that brings you peace. Maybe it's a place or a person or a song, or maybe it's just the feeling peace, but see if you can bring anything or anyone to mind. Something that brings you peace. And take this time to imagine whatever that is. You're breathing it in and breathing it out. And maybe you even notice a gentle smile come across the face, helping you to feel a little bit more at peace in this moment. Helping your body to feel safe and at ease, knowing that you're healthy, you're happy, you are whole. And you can let that image gently float away, bringing some gratitude and appreciation into your heart for whatever that is, whatever that peace is in your life. Knowing that you can come back to that image at any time when things seem to get a little chaotic. And when you're ready, we'll take in, again, just 3 breaths together. Nice cleansing, clearing breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just take 2 more nice, deep breaths. Imagine filling the heart with peace on this last breath. And exhaling, letting it all go. And when you're ready, you can gently begin to open your eyes. And just take this moment here to really look around you and see if things seem a little bit brighter, or maybe look around you and name 1 to 3 things that you're grateful for. And then slowly, if you're laying down, you can slowly bring yourself up. And that would be the end of class today. So thank you for who's here, for showing up, for taking this time for you, and for allowing me to guide you. I just kind of love doing these things. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments or anything, my email is in the description of this video. If you would like to donate, you can, but you don't have to. So it's I love to offer this, and it gives me the space to do it for myself as well. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.